And it's interesting what people have to say, because there is a lot of energy out here under the blue sky and in the sunshine, again in the nice greenery. And I know some people do say, and I think there is some truth to it, because I always do it, and there's always the people who say you should go bare feet as much as you can, get your feet connected to the ground. It gets disconnected because we wear rubber soles, especially in trainers, and plastic soles in walking boots and all that, so you don't get connected to the earth. And they do say there's a kinetic energy in the earth that passes through us. And again, it's a good windy day today, and the wind does get electrically charged, so it does really revive you. I often do walk bare feet, especially when you get good grassy meadows. Go for a paddle in the streams and rivers, go for a swim, especially down the coast too. Obviously bare feet on the beaches and in the sea. So certainly it's very vitalising. So people do talk a lot about energies and frequencies, and there certainly are some places you go, they certainly do have a much better vibe term, especially if you do spend some time in this Norfolk UK, all full of mad monster lies, bogus diagnosis and death threats. But as always, no Black Panther serial killer here, Roy White and White Van Man, Christian B, Sandringham serial killer, Black Wizard terrorist, this shooter, really don't think so. And certainly no Red Carmichael Dunn, Michael Sands, Sutcliffe Steve Wright, Wayne Cousins, Brady Huntley, Fred West. One big monster con, monster bluff, and all to cover up high crimes, blue murder, certainly not. So, always good to go free. I do love the coast too, happy as a sandboy. Again, no nut in a Hitchin beach hut, 7 miles from Sandringham, Norfolk coast. So you know Sandringham Stock and Strangler, serial killer here. So as always, there's a bit rich when you go for a cast for a sea bass at Hitchin, and me and Rocky the Hound, the faithful hound, passed away not too long ago. Walking the sands and the woods and the cliffs, again happy as a salmon. Next minute he gets stitched up as Norfolk Jack the Kipper, Sandringham serial killer. And again, that is a very good watch, ABC Murders, Agatha Christie, where there is a murder in a beach hut. As always, the man who is set up as the Stock and Strangler serial killer, it's not him at all, it's his aristocracy boss who is committing the murders. And certainly no Clockwork Orange, Norwich train station, mountain bike rapist here. As always, I was on a woman's black Dutchy bike, not a mountain bike, certainly wasn't me. All mixed into the black shroud of Sandringham just to set me up further. Norfolk Bacon SS, Windsor Gestapos, the local Nazis, Dis Mason Council. White Lodge, the local mafias, the local mob, all their cronies, spies and informers. Again, Africa, Dis, Norwich and Sandringham. So, in life, we all come across it. There really are a lot of people who really do not know what they're talking about. And a lot of them certainly are in positions of power, authority and influence in high places. Again, all cover up there, high crimes, blue murders, certainly not mine. So go barefoot whenever you can, get connected to the ground, and like I say, the wind nicely electrically charged, good to be out in the sunshine too, fresh air, the lovely scents out here, butterflies flying around there. White van there with Wright on it. Again, no Sutcliffe Steve Wright, Sandringham serial killer here. No Roy White and White Van Man, Christian B. And as always, that really is a 22-year catch 22, complete abuse of power, position, authority and influence in public office, and I had been well set up well before I was staying in a disused beach hut at Hitcham, North Norfolk coast, 7 miles from Sandringham. Again, Norfolk Bacon SS, Windsor Gestapo, calling for backup. Nicely surrounding my frame fixed Skoda. No Black Cat copycat, Black Cat of Burston, Son of Sam, Black Panther, serial killer here. In Africa, Dis, Norwich and Sandringham. Dis Mason Council, White Lodge, local mafias, a local mob, Royal Mail, Postie Assassins, Vigilantes, Postie Mare, the big super spreader carriers, a very deadly serial killer virus, and as always they have infected everyone apart from me. Can also see DC3, Hope Church now, again all full of mad monster lies, bogus diagnosis. Can see Pastor Blake, Nurse Blake, Dis Lawns Medical Healthcare Practice, Parish Fields, not so healthy centre. And no Dis Lawnmower Man here. And you certainly can see Burston Mill, Pages and Co, Dis Woodyard, Dis Skull and Road Assassins, again Parish Fields, not so healthy centre, all related. One big black axe hatchet job, saw trap. You certainly can see my ex-wife, Shay Fraternal, far end Burston, big police council, Doctor Who collaboration. Inspector Numbnuts Bunnan, Mr. Fix-It, Liar Liar Pants on Fire. Again, we will fix you Botwright, you're dealing with the wrong people. An air precision engineered, black box, serial killer, frame fix assassination. Simon Bailey Don't Cry and his blonde host plainclothes lover and a partner, not true detectives. So they will set you up with the biggest monster lies and the biggest bogus diagnosis, again to get you done in. It's only paid to make you disappear or get you boxed up, locked up. Throw away the key, but then when you find out it's all to cover up high crimes, royal blue murder, certainly not mine. See Prince Harry the Spare for details. And that was interesting too, because when I first heard Prince Harry's birthday present, I did Google Prince Harry's birthday, 15th of September. Excuse me, so I thought, well that's strange, people must be mistaken, they must have meant Christmas party or New Year's party, as the poor girl's remains were found on New Year's Day, Royal Sandringham Estate, Killenfields, late Prince Philip's favourite hunting area. But someone knew something and let the black cat out of the bag, because then the autopsy did establish that the poor girl's remains, 17-year-old Eastern European girl, had remained on the Royal Sandringham Estate, Killenfields since September. She went missing at the beginning of September. And that put me even more in the clear, because I wasn't staying in a disused beach hut at Hitcham, 7 miles from Sandringham, North Norfolk coast. At the end of August, September, I was at Blakeney Point, 30 miles away, again on the North Norfolk coast, staying on the barge at the end of the harbour car park, over at the watch house on Blakeney Point. My car was parked on the hill where there's a live web feed in Blakeney, also cameras in the spa shop. And that was an interesting thing that happened at Blakeney. Blakeney point 2. Rather strange. I had a very good watch, never missed a beat. I'd been out on Blakeney Point and I did cut back in across the marshes, catch a spar shot before it closed at 10 o'clock. On this one particular night I was coming back off Blakeney Point again across the sands and the marshes. It was getting dark and I thought, that's strange. My watch was saying the normal time, but I thought it wasn't getting as dark as this last night when I was coming in off Blakeney Point. By the time I got to Blakeney Harbour, that was dark, and I stopped and spoke with these two men who walked by. I said, what's the time, please? What time do you make it? And that was 11 o'clock. But my watch was saying 9 o'clock, and I say a watch had never missed a beat. And somehow, somewhere, I'd lost 2 hours. So that was a bit of a strange one. I did share about it online, did have some interesting comments, people saying how they had experienced it too. There were some people who talked about abduction also. But certainly 2 hours did go astray, and I watched it, never missed a beat before, never missed a beat since. And there was one woman who contacted me privately because she didn't want to say what happened to her on the public forum, but she did message me privately and said that she'd looked out the window and everything outside stood absolutely still, motionless, just for a few moments, a real glitch in the matrix. And it's a bit like Neo when he sees 2 black cats. But again, no black cat copycat. Black cat of Burston, son of Sam, Black Panther, serial killer here. There's a real monster glitch, and on the UK's Devil Island, 666 Matrix, and in that scene, the 2 black cat scene, Morpheus does say, they've changed something in the Matrix. He mentions the word APOC. And it certainly is apocalypse now. They certainly have changed something in the global matrix, especially over the last 5 years, and big changes now being implemented, and talks of a great big reset, one big monster glitch. Again, apocalypse now. So again, for experts do warn us, we have entered the perfect storm. 4 storms converging: financial, natural, solar and war. And again, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, 7 seals of judgment, 7 bowls of judgment because of the evil hearts of men. So, as always, will you escape in time? Will you get out alive? 90 seconds to midnight. Time is running out. I've got a little bit of a helicopter on that one there. And again, the film, Apocalypse Now. Russia and NATO, Ukraine, the Middle East, the Far East. Africa, genocide of Christians taking place once more in Nigeria. Horrendous crimes taking place there. It's also happened in the Middle East, in the Congo. And again, when I was in Africa, Kisumu, Kenya, was standing on the shores of Lake Victoria, which is the size of England, watching a big electrical storm over the lake. Electrical storms in Africa are very impressive. Sheet lightning, bolts of lightning crossing the sky. On the other side of Lake Victoria was Rwanda, and the slaughter was relentless. Mass graves you could have put the population of this into. People hiding in mass graves to avoid being massacred. People dancing with fiendish light in their victims' blood. And the Lord Jesus Christ Joshua said to me, Johnny, the storm is coming. Sword is out in Africa. Sword is out in the Middle East. the sword is out in the Far East, and the sword is out in Europe. And I know it was the Lord's voice in my spirit, because I was surprised. I could understand the sword being out in Africa, could understand the sword being out in the Middle East and the Far East, but I was surprised when the Lord said the sword is out in Europe, because nothing was happening in Europe. And then not long after my return, the Bosnia, Serbia, the Balkans erupted into war. Plenty of evil atrocities from both sides, and we had mass graves on our own front doorstep. And once more the storm is coming, and the sword is out in Europe, the Middle East, the Far East, Africa. One big firestorm coming, again in more ways than one: financial, natural, solar and war, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Again, we're all in range of war, the unexpected, when you least expect it. On a day just like today, we can certainly take a very big hit, first strike.